Been conned into believing that you need to explain a downward bias with incoherent dielectric acceleration because that's the only reason you'd be here if you're a flat earther. You'd have that claim having it lied to you by charlatans who claim science when they haven't got any, and then call the people who call them out for lying and scamming with science claims they haven't put through the scientific method. Yeah, those people who call them out get called scammers. Meanwhile, ether's a scam, and the people who peddle it are liars and charlatans and cheats and frauds who use science as a magic word to convince muppets like you that there's a downward bias that needs explaining when there isn't. You've been conned by charlatans using the same magic trick that was used to con you onto a ball. Now flat earthers are conning you with the same magic trick. Science proves the ether. No, it doesn't, because it hasn't been through the scientific method. There's no empirical evidence for it, and there's no downward bias to need explaining. Hope that's clear with my balloon.
Yeah, I admitted that it will expand in all the directions.
Then we haven't got a bias downwards, and there's no need to explain more than with an incoherent dielectric accelerative force, because there isn't a bias downwards to need explaining with an incoherent dielectric accelerative force, which doesn't exist also and can't be validated in any way, shape or form, let alone put through the scientific method. It's all fucks you've been lied to about. By Bob.
Okay, if I...
Not okay! You're absolutely infuriating. No, it's not okay. You've come here and told us it's biased down by showing us a solid container with gas in it and telling us what the container will do in a vacuum chamber. Meanwhile, in the container of the balloon itself, the gas isn't biased down. That's not okay. You said it was. You're wrong. I need you to understand how wrong you are before we can move on. It's utterly infuriating. Admit you are wrong by way of the balloon example. No bias downward for the gas. That's all we're going to do, and until you admit it, you total weasel, we're not doing anything else.
Okay, I am admitting that I was wrong about that.
Yeah, that bunch of idiots on the flat earth, you think there's a downward bias? You think we need to explain the gravity we don't have? There it is, the concession from this muppet idiot with an ether belief, being backed by Dice Slow as a white knight. There is no bias downwards. There isn't one. So your incoherent dielectric acceleration shit is debunked. Do you hear me, flat earthers? That's it, Chikey. I'm sick of it. Stop it.
Say I was wrong. Let's move on.
You were wrong.
And just to add to what I said before, I can also boil water with a candle, depending on the amount of water, obviously.
Try to follow, George. You're way far behind.
I'm just sick of this. Telling him he's far behind with no substance to your nonsense where you vary making a different experiment to say that it's the same experiment.
Same experiment. Different lab. Pressure is constant. No. The only thing that varies is heat. Should I repeat it, Nathan?
Wait, you're saying pressure is constant on Jupiter?
On the second lab. We have two labs. One atmosphere, one... I don't know, 100,000 atmosphere. Doesn't matter.
Where would that lab be?
Two labs.
Where would that lab be?
Labs.
Sorry, where can I go to a lab where it's 100,000 times atmospheric pressure through the wardrobe into Narnia, where it's 100,000 times the pressure? In Narnia. That's where that lab is, right, Chikey?
No.
No. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're talking about a lab in Narnia.
Is a very weak argument.
What, a weak argument to say that if we go to a lab in Narnia where there's a different pressure, well, then you've varied the pressure by going to Narnia where there's a different pressure, ergo varying the pressure, and it's not the independent variable, therefore it's not the same experiment.
Okay, if you want to make yourself look like a clown, do it.
Sorry, get out. That's your last chance. Get lost. Someone kick him out. You're not going to call me a clown when I break down how fallacious you are when you point out that using pressure, you can show a difference. Yeah, you can if you vary pressure. But that's not the experiment where we vary heat and hold everything, including pressure, constant. But you want to say, no, it is being held constant in La La Land on Jupiter, where it's 100,000 times the pressure in that laboratory. Get lost.
But Nathan, I wanna ask something like, can we say it a cause or effect phenomena instead of telling that science is proving that? Because Because without science, we can also agree that heat can cause water to boil. We don't need a science, and
Oh,
it
absolutely.
is just a cause and effect. So
Correct.
science is not proving it. Can we say that?
No, absolutely correct. So you don't need science to prove that heat is used to cause water to boil. It's bloody obvious. That was merely an example designed specifically for Jaren so that he could understand this in a very dumbed down way, where you reduce it to the most basic, obvious stuff that any idiot can understand does occur when you apply heat, water boils. Jaren decided to take it to a la-la land where water doesn't boil at 100 degrees in order to get around the argument, rather than understand the example that had been dumbed down just for him.
No, but Jaran was also saying that these things are obvious, and science is just to define the hidden things, and we cannot account it for that science is proving it, because like we are breathing air, so we don't need to go to science to approve it. Like gravitational force, like science cannot prove what causes the downward vector. I think he was.
Sorry, hold on a second, my friend. Sorry, science can't prove the downward vector? What, like when I release a helium balloon? What downward vector would that be when I release a helium balloon?
No, because something is going down. That's why, because of density.
Sorry,
buoyancy, it is
are you just going to ignore me? Did you hear what I just said? I said, what about when I release a helium balloon? You said, no, when things go down. Sorry, did you not hear me?
But helium balloon also goes down, I think.
Sorry, excuse me. Are you retarded? Do you need locking up in a mental asylum? You just stated that helium balloons go down.
Yeah, in a vacuum chamber.
Sorry, in a vacuum chamber? Is that a natural phenomena?
Yeah, because...
Sorry, no, it's not, you stupid clown. Whoever's interrupting from G+, shut up immediately. As soon as there's a bloody fundy, I get horrible interruptions constantly. No, thank you. Don't need any help. And no, my friend, we don't live in a vacuum. Science is interested in the physical and natural world. We don't experience helium balloons in vacuums naturally. Gas, on the other hand, expands in all directions, in all vectors, including up. It's not got a downward bias. So your assumed phenomena, that what science isn't going to be proving anyway according to your standards, is downward bias. No, that's not something we observe naturally occurring. We observe things moving in all directions. At the end of your argument for gravity, I take it?
Yeah. Like, we cannot prove why the things are going down.
What, like helium balloons? Are you deaf? Not all things are going down. Repeat after me. Repeat after... Excuse me, I'm talking.
No, because
repeat after me. Repeat after me. Not all things go down. Can you repeat that, please?
According to me, all matter goes down.
So helium balloons, gases, clouds are going down then? That wasn't rhetorical.
I think there are some other magical
I just need a yes or no. I just need is a yes or no. Do you understand what a yes or no question is? It's a closed question. Yes or...
I can't access the cloud.
Excuse me, I just need you to affirm that you understand my question because you didn't answer it. Yes or no. You state things go down. You state things go down. I say clouds, gases, helium balloon. They go down. Correct? Yes or no? Go.
Yeah, helium balloon goes down in a vacuum.
No. Are you in requirement of going to the mental asylum? Because we're not living in a vacuum and science is interested in the physical and natural world. We already covered this. You seem to be ignoring me completely. You seem to be reasserting and then chanting through me. Is it just your requirement, New Moon, to chant through me as I devastate your point? We do not live in a vacuum. Science is interested in physics. That's the physical and natural world. It's natural science. We don't live in a vacuum.
Where's there helium balloons in nature?
Excuse me, who's that? Who's the White Knight helping New Moon?
I'm just asking. You said nature.
Well, can you wait? Can you wait till I finish with New Moon? Can you wait?
Yeah.
Thank you. New Moon, we don't live in a vacuum. That's the third time I've addressed this, and you've circle-jerked back to it 3 separate occasions now. Not all things go down. We don't live in a vacuum.
There are many people. But there are demonstrations available. Like people create a vacuum and a helium balloon. When the vacuum is created, it goes down.
I see.
And it is also.
I see. So I understand. So the helium balloon itself is a container, is it not? With gas in it, correct?
Yeah.
And in that balloon, the gas is going down to the bottom of the balloon, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So the
And
bottom of the
also
balloon
expanding it.
is bigger than the top. It's a big, flat pancake because all the gas in the balloon has gone down. It's not evenly spread out in the balloon, pressing on the balloon equally in all directions. You're saying the gas inside the balloon actually is going down towards the bottom of the balloon. Are you stupid?
It's because of the shape.
Sorry, what? It's because? No, gases aren't going down in helium balloons, even in vacuum chambers. They're spreading out in all directions inside the containment of the balloon. Do you not appreciate that?
Yeah, it also expands the balloon.
So it's going in all directions and not down in the balloon, then? Hello?
Yeah, but
So it's not going down in the balloon, then. It's actually going in all directions, exactly as I stated, even in a vacuum chamber. Inside the containment of the balloon, the gases have in fact spread out in all directions, including up. They're not going down making a pancake, are they?
thermodynamics. It's just because of
So you seem to be stuttering through me while I'm making my point concluded. You don't need to stammer and stutter your way through the conclusion of my point. The balloon's not a pancake.
Yeah.
You just need to shut up, my friend. New Moon. Yeah, while I absolutely annihilate your stupid crap. Just shut up and listen. Would you mind popping yourself on mute? There you go. Good lad. No, New Moon. Inside your vacuum chamber with a balloon in it, the balloon itself is a container. And inside that container, the gases have spread out in all directions, including up. There was no bias down. So you are wrong. Even with your example in a very unnatural circumstance, I can still demonstrate the gases expand in all directions, and were you to remove the balloon so that the vacuum chamber itself was the only containment, the helium would spread out in all directions into the chamber. And it wouldn't be in a puddle on the floor of the chamber, like it's not in a puddle at the bottom of the balloon. You're just fundamentally incorrect about gas behaviour. You think gas, when put into a solid container in a vacuum, very unnatural, will go down because the container goes down, when the gas inside the container has definitely spread in all directions and has no bias downwards. You are fundamentally incorrect, New Moon. New Moon, you're wrong.
And it's spreading just because of the second law of thermodynamics.
So
And,
gas,
the
so
gravitational
the gas is
very
spreading throughout the balloon, including up, not bias down. Then, like you asserted, so you're wrong.
Yeah, it's going in every.
You don't need to stutter. Just say yes. You were wrong, you stupid idiot. Now you just need to confirm how wrong you were. The gas expands into the balloon, doesn't it?
Yeah, because
Yes, you stupid weasel. Yes is all you need to say now, weasel. Yes.
bro, I'm a flat earther. I am not.
I don't give a crap what you are. You're wrong. Think I'm going to have your appeal to being a flat earther when you're wrong about gas behaviour? Gas does not go down in the balloon, does it?
Because I have seen the action.
Sorry, in the balloon, the gas expands in all directions equally, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
Yes. So, stupid moron. Don't give a crap that you're a flat earther. You're bloody wrong. Do you understand how wrong you are? The gas in the balloon itself isn't going down.
you can.
Don't give me but. I don't want to hear your buts. You're wrong. You said the gas goes down. You exampled a chamber, that's a balloon, with another chamber around it, that's a vacuum chamber, and you stated that the gas went down. Yet in the balloon, it doesn't. So you're wrong.
The whole balloon gets down.
The balloon isn't a gas, though, is it? Do you not know the difference between the surface of a balloon, which is a solid, versus the containment it provides to the gas we're detailing, that would be helium, expanding in all directions with no bias down in the balloon?
Well, isn't there a gradient
Shut up!
inside the balloon?
Someone mute
Isn't that
Die Slow.
gradient at the base of the
Mute
balloon?
Die Slow immediately. So in the balloon, because obviously it's been attempted by the White Knight to distract away from something that's destroying a bias, even for flat earth muppets who still have it, in the balloon, New Moon, it is not biased down in that container, regardless of what that container, the solid container of the balloon, is in. Who cares what the balloon is in? Inside the container for the gas is not biased down. Is it, New Moon?
So do you know the reason why?
Don't ask me a
we are
question.
sitting on the
You
ground?
just need to
Why
say
things go
no.
down? So do you know the
Don't ask
reason?
me. You need to affirm that you understand that in the balloon it's not biased down as you stated. You're not going to get a question for me until you concede that in the balloon it's not biased down. The gas expands into the container of the balloon equally in all directions, contradicting your assertion that it goes down. You will affirm this, you total weasel.
I have already addressed it with the second law of thermodynamics. That
So the second law of thermodynamics is dynamically debunking your downward bias then?
no, it's just
So it's actually going down in the balloon. The balloon is actually pancake-shaped because the gas in the balloon's going down?
yeah, it's also going.
No, it's not. It's expanded into the balloon in all directions, you stupid idiot. Even in your own example, which you have seen with your own bloody eyes, you know damn well that the balloon is expanded equally in all directions and isn't sodding pancake-shaped, you abject liar.
Nah, the pressure of going outwards is more, and the pressure it is putting down, it's very, very low. That's why it's going down with a very low force. But
It's not going down. It's filling the balloon equally by expanding into it in all directions equally. It's not down. The balloon isn't a pancake shape because of the bias down. How many times have I got to explain this to you? Do you not appreciate that the balloon isn't pancake shaped? What is your malfunction?
yeah, you're right about it. Yeah, it's going in every direction.
So not bias downward then, you stupid idiot.
That is another force that is.
Sorry, it's another force for gas to be expanding equally in all directions. No, that's not a force, that's just gas behaviour. It's not biased downwards.
Yeah. It's just the second law of thermodynamics. That's why it's going in all directions. But
I see, so all directions isn't biased downwards then, is it, you stupid idiot? What is your malfunction? Equally in all directions isn't your Muppet view of bias down.
okay, if I
Not okay! You're absolutely infuriating. No, it's not okay. You've come here and told us it's biased down by showing us a solid container with gas in it and telling us what the container will do in a vacuum chamber. Meanwhile, in the container of the balloon itself, the gas isn't biased down. That's not okay. You said it was. You're wrong. I need you to understand how wrong you are before we can move on. It's utterly infuriating.
No, just imagine in a zero.
Don't imagine anything, you stupid dick. The balloon's in the vacuum chamber, it's expanded in all directions. No imagination is needed, only you to make your concession about how wrong you were about the gas being biased down. It isn't.
But bro, what is going to happen?
Don't ask me something. You need to concede, you total weasel, that you were wrong when you said the gas was biased downwards in the balloon. It isn't. Now you concede. Don't ask me something.
But
No buts. You were wrong. You said gas biased down. In balloon, it examples it otherwise. You were wrong. Not but. You were wrong. Gas not biased. Not moving downwards. All directions in the balloon.
we should perform this.
Don't tell me what we should do. You gave me an example and I ripped it through your own arsehole. You and the rest of the Muppet idiots who are flat earthers and think we've got a bias down. We haven't. You're wrong. You need to admit that.
So why the things are
Don't ask me something how many times. Admit you are wrong by way of the balloon example. No bias downward for the gas. That's all we're going to do. And until you admit it, you total weasel, we're not doing anything else.
Okay, I am admitting that I was wrong about that.
Yeah, that a bunch of idiots on the flat earth. You think there's a downward bias? You think we need to explain the gravity we don't have? There it is, the concession from this Muppet idiot, presumably with an ether belief, being backed by Dice Slow as a white knight. There is no bias downwards. There isn't one. So your incoherent dielectric acceleration shite is debunked. Do you hear me, flat earthers? You've all been raped by idiots lying to you with science. Because they all told you that they were explaining this downward bias that doesn't exist with scientific evidence of ether, right? No, they're all lying to you. And Moon, you were one of the people duped by this garbage, weren't you, my friend?
I know why it's going down. It's going down.
It isn't going down. The gas is expanding in all directions. Cognitive dissonance much? Need to reassert that it's going down when the gas is expanded in all directions in the balloon? Need to double down on that stupid shit, do you?
That is another thing working, but that is...
Sorry, it's the thing that works against your claim that things are biased downwards. It works very much against that.
But if you reperform...
No buts. You are wrong. No bias down. Balloon not pancake. Expands in all directions equally. You are wrong. No buts. No questions. Just you admitting it and nothing else until we get it.
Yeah, I admitted that it will expand in all the directions.
Then we haven't got a bias downwards, and there's no need to explain more than with an incoherent dielectric accelerated force, because there isn't a bias downwards to need explaining with an incoherent dielectric accelerated force, which doesn't exist also and can't be validated in any way, shape or form, let alone put through the scientific method. It's all bollocks. Bollocks you've been lied to about. By Bob.
But there is no way to explain it, otherwise...
Sorry, what? Wait, when it's going up. What about the gases going up? What do the gases pressing on the top of the balloon moving up way? When weight is a measure in the downward bias for solids in air? No, there's no weight for the gases pressing on the top of the balloon. They're going up. I still haven't heard you tell me how wrong you were about this assertion that things are all going down. You've doubled down on it after admitting that you were wrong, and yeah, it all will go in the same direction, or equally in all directions, rather.
Density and buoyancy is a result of downward vector.
Sorry, what downward vector would that be with the balloon? So the downward vector of the gas is pushing the balloon up to expand in all directions. They're going down, are they? Arsehole.
No, expanding in...
Arsehole. They're not going down, they're going up. You keep circle jerking around to the stuff going down, ignoring the stuff that's going up.
Yeah, there are some...
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're ignoring it. Yeah, the stuff going up in the balloon to make the balloon expand in all directions wouldn't be in any way comporting with your downward bias that you haven't conceded yet. You've been swindled, New Moon. Been conned into believing that you need to explain a downward bias with incoherent dielectric acceleration because that's the only reason you'd be here if you're a flat earther. You'd have that claim having it lied to you by charlatans who claim science when they haven't got any, and then call the people who call them out for lying and scamming with science claims they haven't put through the scientific method. Yeah, those people who call them out get called scammers. Meanwhile, ether's a scam, and the people who peddle it are liars and charlatans and cheats and frauds who use science as a magic word to convince muppets like you that there's a downward bias that needs explaining when there isn't. You've been conned. Yeah? That's what's happened. You've been conned by charlatans, using the same magic trick that was used to con you onto a ball. Now flat earthers are conning you with the same magic trick. Science proves the ether. No, it doesn't, because it hasn't been through the scientific method. There's no empirical evidence for it, and there's no downward bias to need explaining. Hope that's clear with my balloon and its gases that aren't going down, that you can't possibly concede.
So what is the reason? What is the reason things are going down?
I didn't say they were. They're not. The balloon defies that claim. We've gone through this about 18 times.
I don't want to talk about that example.
Oh, you'd rather not talk about the stuff that's not going down to affirm your bias that needs explaining with incoherent dielectric acceleration. You'd rather not focus on those things. I see. So would it be better if I only focused on solids moving through air so that your nonsensical shite about incoherent dielectric acceleration, that shysters and con artists who use science as a magic word to peddle nonsense they haven't proven, I can then accept the downward force that doesn't exist because not all things are going down. So it's better that we don't focus on them, right?
Because of electrostatics.
Sorry, what's because of electrostatics? The downward bias we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have it. So you're not going to be explaining it with... You're not going to be explaining it with that, given that we don't have it.
Have them define it. What's electrostatics?
Yeah, I don't believe in electrostatics, like everything is positively charged and Earth is negatively charged.
Not my question. That wasn't my question. That's not my question. I asked you to define electrostatics.
I don't know the proper definition.
OMG. Take it away, Nathan.